really early into the season. Now we see FMB actually flexing the Karma towards mid. That's going to be Martin Juicer King playing this Karma, and instead it's the Soraka with the Twitch. And the game is underway. We'll see if FMB decides to go for any aggressive moves. I think given their team, I don't think it's very likely. Maybe they just try and surprise GGL as they try to invade, but it actually is GGL trying to move through the other side of a jungle.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
FMB committing to his bot lane Tribush, perhaps expecting GGL to show up, but instead GGL are just moving as a unit towards the enemy red buff. They're not going to find anyone, but they will put some vision down. I assume no vision. So it's just a random excursion. Okay, I see Shen putting down the wards, so there's going to be some information for GGL. Perhaps they'll be able to spot Viego on his first clear. Not a lot of setup for FMB in the bot lane, so it just feels sensible for Viego to start bot side. I think FMB bot lane is well aware that 2v2 could be a bit risky. Not a lot of power between these two. So I think FMB just completely fine conceding the first few waves bot lane. But it does mean it's a little bit of a diversion from what we usually see for this team. Bot lane getting a lot of his early attention. Maybe we'll see Viego come bot on his second clear. Aggressive trading coming in from the Karma. Nice combo. MC Kuzkio already falling quite low when it comes to his mana pool. Big A just wandering into the enemy jungle. Perhaps he wanted to see if Viego was still doing his red buff, but he was a little bit late on that. Yeah, meanwhile on the other side of the rift, not really surprising that Senna and Nautilus are getting the push in early. Gonna take a while before Twitch comes online. Maybe this was a different enchanter, you could try and look for some kind of 2v2 shenanigans. Oh, but now we see a 2v2 fight brewing right here. It looks like GGL have successfully managed to burn one of the summoners for Christian Simeone. Big A trying to hold the freeze, but taking quite a bit of damage in the process. Ghoul doesn't quite doesn't quite finish his recall yet. The wave position is not in the best of spots. He wants to push that all the way in, but Big A has other plans. No junglers to be found, it's just an isolated 1v1 right now. Westy going in for another hook. It's a root onto Soraka. A lot of damage taken. But Christian Simeone is giving it right back. And Soraka obviously able to heal a lot of that damage back up. And just like we mentioned, Sazin finished his first clear. Now he's bot lane. Twitch and Soraka with their abilities able to assist the jungler that much more effectively. And Westy flashing away, but I don't think that's going to be enough. That's just first blood for Diego. Sazum committing really hard to this play. He believes that there was enough damage for the second reset, and there probably would have been. But the flash from MC Kuzkio prevents that second kill from happening. What is going to happen to the second dragon now that GGL have brought in their jungler as well? Looks like we're just going to go back to the neutral position, as Christian Simeone will probably be looking for a recall quite soon. Will also looking for a recall of his own. He spent all of his mana trading, and now this wave is building up. Brand nowhere to be found. Big A does not have Ignite, so I don't think he will be able to dive this, although Pool is very low right now, but he's just dinked 6. He does not have enough mana to press R, but Chen decided it was more worth it to just get the recall nice and early to make sure he gets back top lane, and there's no harm done there. Obviously, as we progress later into the game, the Ornn is going to have the advantage eventually. He gets more items, just becomes really, really hard to move, and then his additional scaling that he brings with the ornaments gives even more value to the team. Just such a perennial team fight machine, this Ornn guy. It's really not a coincidence that he's such a UNL staple. So many teams like to go for team fights. It's an effective strategy in, you know, most levels of play. Ooh, the grass proc was quite something. Martin Juicer King with the XP lead, putting a lot of hurt onto MC Kuzkio. No, we're not even at a point where Karma has Malignance. I've just noticed the call purchase on Swain, and I'm kind of vibing with it. Now GGL just going straight onto Sazim. We're just going to kill it right here. Although he's going straight for the reset, he commits everything, and he actually manages to turn this around. And the Heartbreaker to avoid the Senna damage. I'm just shocked that he actually managed to stay alive through all that. I guess Soraka power proved to be the deciding factor right there. Perhaps she doesn't have level 6 yet, but those heals were enough to keep him alive. Now full in a 1v1 versus Vishen, where the empowered autos are dealing a lot of damage in return. No one looking to commit super hard for this, but now Big A with the taunt flash, he's going to secure the solo kill. BGL finally on the board. Yeah, I'm still kind of surprised that Diego actually just managed to survive through all that damage. That's just living proof that GGEL are already struggling to find kills on the important targets. We're not even 10 minutes in. We're already seeing those early signs of those problems where GGL, in those extended fights, they will struggle most likely. And even if they, even if they want to take fights fast later down the line, abilities like Karma's Empowered Inspire or Soraka's Wish can just give a lot of effective HP in no time. Oh, Pray and Pray comes out from Christian Simeone. That forces out the depth charge. And the GGL bot lane is finally pushed away. Which, not quite a Blade of a Ruined King yet. But, you know, level 6 Twitch compared to Senna's level 6, I think he's still going to come out on top, so it all makes sense. MC Kuzkio trying to go for a 1v1, but he walks up a little bit too far forward. Chasm tries to punish, but the Heartbreaker away though. Didn't want to give away the bounty. They were just fine with forcing the flash there. Oh, Westy committing with the flash, but a nice dodge from Christian. They really wanted to get that kill there. It's actually, you know, kind of, it's a bit dubious there, because I think Cargilly already had level 6 up and available. So even if Christian gets hooked, how likely is it that he actually falls in that situation? Senna just doesn't have that much burst compared to some of these other marksmen. Takes time before you actually see the full effectiveness of this champion. With everything that's happened, FNB still in the lead. This mid lane CS differential between the two champions is quite visible. Martin Juicer King doing a really good job here. That's a very early spike for him. I think we've hammered this point home already. Malignant's Karma is a very scary champion. Any champion that spikes on one item just like this, I think, has a lot of value in competitive play. Yeah, she's just able to block all of the incoming damage with her shield. That's gotta feel a bit demoralizing. Cargilly trying to check the brushes. He can successfully do so with the Star Call. Didn't have to walk in there and risk his life. As we continue to see the 1v1 between the Karma and the Swain. Now Martin Juicer King just committing to this dive, and he just easily gets his kill. No problem getting that one. Christian walking forward. He knows that he has his jungler behind him. I think GGL also recognizing that fact. They wanted to commit to a 2v3 fight, but now they go for it as Viego is not there anymore. He's committing to the dragon while Christian is taking a lot of damage in return. The Shen comes out as well, and they just get this kill onto the Twitch. Soraka might fall as well as they commit to this dive. Shen is still tanking the turret. Oh, Oswald almost falling there as well. It is a 2 for 0 at the end of the day. DGL trade 2 kills for the dragon. It's really nice that they got this punish. Would feel extra bad to just give away this dragon for free, but at least they have this. That said, this Viego is still quite powerful, and he's just going to get the smite onto this red buff. He still has the level lead, commits the flash. Now he's 2 levels above his jungle counterpart. Sazim dominating on the Viego. Things towards the Rift Herald. I think perhaps FNB was not quite sure what GGL was planning to do next. Now with this kill that they got, there's plenty of time for them to just reposition on the map and try and go for that next. Viego is quite powerful. This Viego Karma mid jungle duo, I think, is going to be a big pain for GGL. I mean, their top laner is ahead, but not sure how much this actually means for them. Can they even make use of the Shen, you know, side lane split pusher? Can it even be done? When we look at Senna and her stacks, it's not a lot because she's mostly been farming. As we all know, you get more souls when you're not the one farming. So you're just trading the ability to scale with souls for some early spikes with some items. Right now, Senna is sitting at Gimwa's Ghostblade, long swords, and Boots of Swiftness. So still more or less ahead of the lane opponent. But I think Christian Simeone is slowly getting to that point where he's becoming a factor. Curious about his second item here. It just feels like a scuffle is brewing at the Rift Herald. FNB were trying to look into taking the Rift Herald here, but now I guess there's no time to talk about that because Christian Simeone is about to get bursted down. Soraka was not there to assist him at all. Just perhaps some slight miscommunication there, as you know, Twitch was just standing there in the middle of the lane while Soraka was out there warding. And GGL take advantage of that separation between the two. See Kuzkio now going for that 1v1 while Sazam is coming in to punish the bot lane, but Stand United comes out. And maybe this is an opportunity for Sazam to finally drop his bounty. It's Shen who takes it. Now Kargili, isolated under his tower, has to turn tail. Once again, some nice proactive gameplay coming in from GGL. They recognize that the Twitch, while he is a formidable late game threat, early game, he's a bit of a sitting duck. And he can always be punished by the likes of Nautilus. Bull actually burning his flash to try and buy some time maybe for the rest of his team, but there's no one there to assist him at all. And he's just going to fall to the Shen next. Maybe there was an opportunity there to trade kills, but GGL play that one well and they get another pick on the board. Now the important question here is, how does GGL play this one out? Because they've just committed plenty of cooldowns. For this top lane gank, no Stand United, no teleport. Big A probably just committing to this side lane push now. GGL not really in a position to contest this one as it stands. They're just, yeah, they're just giving this one up. I think they recognize that this was not the timing for them to fight, given how the last 2 minutes played out. It does put them in an awkward position where they will have to contest the next dragon no matter what. But I guess that's something that they will have to, you know, they don't have to worry about that right now. As Kargili is the next target, but Twitch is firing onto Vicenna. And that makes Oswald back off. So no kills. Really nice there of Christian Simeone to take care of the biggest threat. Let's quickly focus down the setup from range. And just neutralize what was happening there. That's the kind of advantage that Twitch will have later on. It's actually able to match some of the range that GGL has on the other side. I think once he has 3 items, we will be able to see the full extent of his damage. Right now, we're still definitely in the building phase of things. Yeah, but Twitch is going to take some more time to really get into the swing of things, but FNB have plenty of other strong champions that they can just push GGL around with. Because Oswald's really going aggressive for his play. Gets some poke onto Christian, but that just gets pretty much nullified with one W press. This is why I think it's so important for GGL to actually, you know, you would want to focus the enchanters ideally just to make Viego's and Twitch's job harder. But, you know, if you don't focus down the Twitch, he could still burn down a lot of your health bars, so it's a difficult game to play for GGL coming into these team fights. This next Dragon Timer is inevitable. They will have to find a way to fight back here. Diego Heartbreaker defensively, Stand United forced out. It's a trade of ultimate cooldowns. Christian Simeone always gets caught with a depth charge. Westy comes in, but the call was not to engage there from GGL. It's a split call. But now, so much damage from the Pyroclasm from the Brand. The health bar is falling dangerously low for GGL. It's a trade of kills right now. GGL actually stand tall. So much damage there as FMB was kind of clumped up there in the river, and yeah, well played. GGL hold their ground despite all that. Now the Rift Herald gets called. That will get some extra damage onto this mid lane turret. It will not fall just yet. But this should be able to just fall down eventually. And is this the moment where GGEL can take this dragon and start fighting back? That was a very good attempt. Some of your recalls from GGL have been taken 20 seconds before this objective. And so, yeah, the approach into the river is a little bit scattered across time. Now they are walking through bot lane Tribush, slowly picking up vision across the way. Westy trying to find a dredge line. But now Christian Simeone opens up. Nollis does not have the hook anymore. Depth charge does not hit the Twitch. He's just able to auto attack for so much damage, but now he gets caught up in the CC. The Twitch dies, and that means FMB does not have the sustained damage to keep going, I think. Although Diego got some resets back up, but it's a 2v2 right now that I think is a 2v2 that GGL should be able to win. Call of the Forge God gets flashed away by Oswald, but Fool manages to still find the damage. It's a 4-for-4 in this fight. It's just the tanks fighting against each other, but it's Big A with a much bigger health bar. He finds the drag through with the sword, the slow. Fool is still standing, but that unending despair actually finishes him off. And that, at the end of the day, is a narrow win for GGEL. But I don't think the fight stops here, as FMB and GGL are sort of just walking, yeah, they're walking towards the dragon sort of at the same time. I don't know if we're going to see a repeat of this. Christian Simeone pushing down mid. It's GGEL who just commit straight to this dragon, and they will be able to take it. They get it just in time before Sazam is able to try and steal, so... yeah, GGEL. Fight hard versus FMB. They get the win, they get the dragon. They buy themselves more time. Oh, Christian Simeone sprays and prays onto the Senna. Senna dangerously low now. Yeah, Christian Simeone just needed one more auto attack there, potentially, to secure the kill. Wasn't enough. Still needs that Infinity Edge to really get going in this game. I think it's, yeah, it is commendable that Christian Simeone is not playing around. He's trying to get as much damage as possible, but the Nautilus CC is very scary, and that's always something that you have to keep in mind, as now Sazam tries to get his first reset onto the Viego, but he's just going to fall to the combined damage of the Swain and the Shen, and the Swain is not really falling. He's getting the healing from the Senna as well, and now GGEL is turning this around. That's another kill for the blue team, and now is the call just going to be straight onto Baron? No jungler up. Christian Simeone does not have his ultimate yet. No summoners either. Martin Juicing King, meanwhile, still pushing down bot lane. He's going to get this tower, but I think FMB are not willing to fight for this anymore. They know it will be a lost cause in a 3v5, so GGEL just take this Baron. And now, you could say that they are in the driver's seat. They punished some haphazard gameplay from FMB, and now this could be their game to win. This could be such a valuable victory for them, specifically, given how the rest of the games have turned out. Slash Pause picking up wins, Invol picking up wins versus FMB. So if GGL can get a win of their own here, that makes their situation that much more comfortable in the playoff race. Now they just need to make sure everything's progressing nice and smooth. Big A onto the Karma. He's really, really fed. Like, consider his items right now. He's so far ahead compared to the opposition. 3.5 items on this guy. So Karma actually just unable to match him. This is what I was wondering. Like, Big A, when he's this fed, he's actually able to contribute in the side lane. FMB being spread around, that's definitely not something that they want. Ideally, they would want to have Karma grouped up with them in the team fights. Now FMB going in for the play, but it's Sazam who gets CC caught up in the CC chain. Christian Simeone also caught up in the CC. He has to disengage, but he gets caught up in the madness of the team fight. It's a double kill for Juicy Boy Jamie. FMB just straight up get blasted in this team fight. Deja Vu up next. They just all fall one after another, and it's just Karma and Soraka left to defend. But death timers are quite long here. I think GGL just managed to beat FMB. FMB with the first 0-2 week in UNL Season 10. They dropped the ball, and that means they could still drop out of top 2 in the regular season.